YouTube pipe community. I am Paul, and this is Pipes of Old. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're just going to do a short interview with Austin Bordeaux. Bordeaux. Wanted to introduce you guys to him. He's a younger pipe maker, and got a few questions to ask him and kind of get you guys acquainted with him. He's definitely got some nice pipes. You guys need to check him out next chance you get. So we'll just go through a few questions I've written down, and to start with, where do you live at?
So I'm from Wisconsin, in the kind of south central area of Wisconsin, Janesville. Just moved there a little over a year ago, but that's kind of where my operation is based out of right now.
Cool. What about your family situation? You got a wife and a couple beautiful little kids, don't you?
Yep, I brought both of them to the pipe show in Columbus. So yeah, wife, I've been married 6 years.
6 years.
6
Cool.
years. Hopefully she's not watching. 6 years, and then we have a little girl. She is 3 years old. She'll be 4 in March, and then a little boy who will be a year old next month.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice young family then.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So now switching gears over to pipes a little bit. What drew you into the pipes?
So I was always into smoking cigars. So I was into smoking cigars like right out of high school. Back when the smoking age was 18, the good old days. And I continued smoking cigars. I joined the military, and then I started getting into cigarettes. I got away from that shortly after getting out, but I continued with cigars, and I stumbled across some of my grandpa's old corncob pipes, and he had a cherry wood poker. So I was like, I'll clean these up, give them a try. And I don't know, I just kind of fell into it after that. I started with like a cherry aromatic that, looking back on it now, is not a great tobacco, but I liked it, and it kind of drew me in. So,
right. Now, Grandpa, was that your mom's dad or your dad's dad?
My dad's dad. Yeah, my dad's dad.
That's cool.
Yeah. And he was always a big cigar guy. I never even knew he was like into pipes or had a pipe. Never seen him with a pipe, but
right.
So it was just cool that I found those, and thought I'd give it a shot. And yeah, I completely stopped smoking cigarettes for sure, but I haven't smoked a cigar since I started the pipe. So
right, yeah, I think there's more of a cool factor with a pipe personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I think that. It's just I don't know if I'd call it upper echelon, or you know what I mean. It seems like always the famous people that you watch on TV, a lot of the old movie stars were pipe smokers. And then of course, who was it? Was it what was his name? Milton Brandon, or he was an old white haired guy, kind of little guy. He always smoked a stogie, and for some reason that just never appealed to me as something that looked fancy.
Yeah,
it looked kind of the opposite to me.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, and like now watching like old Disney movies and stuff, like you notice those things, like Jimmy Cricket smoking a pipe, and what is it, Roger from the 101 Dalmatians is smoking a pipe. It's like, wow, like those are some cool dudes.
Yeah. So the name of your company? Your brand name? I don't know how you're considering that at this point.
Pathfinder Pipes.
Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
So that kind of came from the Army unit that I was in. So I went into the military, or went into the Army specifically. I went through basic, airborne. I went to the Ranger indoctrination program at the time, and it switched to RASP. And then after that, I was sent to my unit, which was a Pathfinder unit. And that was kind of it was a few different things before it came a Pathfinder unit. It was a LURS D unit before it was Pathfinder. And it was kind of like it was tied to the Ranger battalions. And so like on my logo, it's like a Ranger scroll, but it says Pathfinder, and that was what my unit's logo was. It was the Ranger scroll with Pathfinder, and we did kind of more search and recovery things. So like when I was in Afghanistan, we did like downed aircraft recovery, personnel recovery. We did some night raids, stuff like that.
That doesn't sound good. That sounds like Black Hawk Down to me.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, there was some Black Hawks that went down. A lot more Apaches and drones, but so I was trying to honor that, you know, like the guys I served with, and just I really enjoyed the time that I did have serving in that unit. So I wanted to kind of honor it the best way I could. So I figured,
cool.
Pathfinder Pipes has a nice jingle to it, so
yeah,
give that a shot.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, making pipes, I'm assuming since you have a small family, this is a part-time gig at the moment?
Right, yeah, very much part-time. I'm a social worker. I've got my master's in social work, working on my clinical license, so I could do, from there I could potentially become more full-time pipe maker. I could do like just have my own practice in social work and do therapy kind of things. But right now I work for the local county that I'm in. I work with people with severe and persistent mental illness, so a lot of schizophrenia and personality disorder type stuff.
Right.
And that's kind of where most of my time is spent. Pipe making, I'll get up at like 4 a.m., get a couple hours in with no little kids running around.
Right.
It's really the only time I have. But yeah, very much part-time right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. You seem to turn out some nice work for being part-time.
Oh yeah, thank you. It takes a lot of time.
Do you have a favorite shape of pipe that you make? Anything that really calls to you, or that you just enjoy making more than the rest?
I think right now I just like trying new things. I don't think I've found like my niche, I guess, quite yet. I'm trying a bunch of different things. I'm more drawn to like longer shanked pipes. I don't know if I necessarily like making them quite yet. I like the aesthetics of them. But I'm just more in like the dabbling kind of phase right now, just seeing what I like making, what comes easy. I guess what I'm drawn to. Yeah.
How long have you been making pipes?
So I made my first pipe, I believe it was November of 2022. So going on almost 2 years.
Wow, we're real close to the same
Yeah,
length of time here. I'm maybe 2.5, but that's including my own personal pipe. Was that your?
That was my
personal
first.
pipe?
Yeah, I guess when I. That was that. Yeah.
I mean, that's really the beginning there, because that's what. I don't know, it's kind of a catch-22. You delve in thinking, I'll just make myself a pipe. And all of a sudden you're drawn into, hey, this is really cool. I think I can do this.
And yeah. November of 22 was my first pipe that I made, and I just kept it. And I was like, yeah, I kind of like this. So I ordered more briar and started making pipes for like friends and family members, and just kind of like learning it a little bit better. But like Muletown of this year would have been my first pipe show where I went to sell pipes. So I guess it depends where.
No, I'd say it starts with the first one.
With the first pipe, yeah.
Because that's what draws you in. Is that,
yeah.
It's either a make or break thing, I think, that first pipe. I mean, at first you're thinking, I'll just make myself a pipe and see how it turns out. And I think most people are generally happy with that. With, I don't know that all of them think, man, I could have done just a little bit better, and I'll try this again, and then it just leads you down this rabbit hole into making pipes now.
Yeah, it's I guess to me, I was just drawn in. I said, well, I mean, it's something to like make something with your bare hands, but then it's like also a useful tool, it's a functional piece of art, and I don't know, it's just so interesting to me. just wanted to keep going.
Now, granted, this interview is supposed to be about Austin, but to me, and this is gonna probably sound bad in a way, but when you make something and you show up to a show and people see it, oh man, that looks really nice. That feeds an ego.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
I don't know
too.
if you felt that, but me,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know that there's anything else that I've done that I've had that sense of accomplishment when somebody says something like that that I
Yeah.
have with pipes.
No, it's definitely a feel good. You feel good after somebody compliments you like that. And yeah, it feeds it a little bit. Sure.
Yeah.
I would agree.
My tendency to say is, "Are you just saying that? Don't just."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
say it just to be nice. Oh man. Do you know how many pipes you've made to date by any chance? Have you tracked that?
I really should kind of look back. I would say it's got to be close, probably right around you, 50.
Around 50?
Around 50. I should go back and kind of count, and I should really start marking them.
I'm gonna try to start numbering mine on this
Yeah.
pipe that I showed you today, 51.
Yeah.
Going forward, I'm undecided on how to mark them yet, but I am gonna try to
Yeah.
get down to some sort of way of doing that. You already mentioned it a little bit as kind of when you first started getting into it, you started ordering briar, and people can buy pipe kits that are already drilled and already have a stem attached, and all they have to do is shape them, which there's nothing wrong with, but at the same time, you're not somebody that's just finishing a pre-made, pre-drilled block. You're starting from raw material where it's just a Ebachon or a plateau piece of briar with no holes in it, and you're having to draw it up and cut it out and then shape it and drill it. And now, something that a lot of newer pipe makers I don't think are doing, good, bad, indifferent. I don't know that there's really one right way, but you're hand cutting your stems already.
Yeah.
And like I told you earlier, I've done number 6, but you, I think, have done far more than 6 as far as the hand cut.
So, Muletown, I think I brought maybe 2 pipes that I had, like preformed stems on, and those were the last 2 that I've ever pre-fit something. Otherwise, it's all been drilling and cutting my own ebonite, mostly ebonite. I guess I've done a few pieces of acrylic, but I've been mostly trying to.
Regardless, it's round stock when you start with a stem now.
Yeah.
Everything you do, whether it's acrylic, ebonite,
Well,
it's all round stock, so it doesn't resemble a stem at all.
no, yeah, and some of the pen blanks that I'm using that are acrylic, those square pieces. So I got to figure out a way to
Right.
chuck those up and drill and cut those. But yeah, I've been exclusively doing hand cut.
And I don't know if a lot of my viewers are pipe guys. They've been in it a while. Some of them obviously farther in than others, but that's I spoke to another pipe maker, and that adds quite a bit to the value of the pipe. When you're hand cutting those stems, that's a lot more time that you're having to put in, because a pre-made stem, I mean, all you basically got to do is knock off the rough edges and maybe a little bit of sanding to take out some marks, and then polishing it up. I mean, your time is considerably less with a pre-made. Not that they're
Right.
I think they have their place. I think they can help keep a price point down, but to that same comment, when you add a hand cut stem, that adds to the cost of a custom made, one of a kind pipe that you're making.
Right, yeah, and honestly, I mean, I could turn a pipe, the stummel out of the wood pretty quick. Within, I mean, in one morning I could probably turn that, drill the chamber, the airway, kind of get it rough shaped on like the shaping wheel. But really the most time is that stem, drilling that stem, making sure I got everything's lining up, taking that out, sanding it to like a rough shape and then taking files to it. Because I'm too new, I think, you know. I try to be careful. I don't want to get too close to where that airway might be that I'm knocking into it. So I do probably more time on the files than I should. And after Columbus and talking with like Nate and Premel, I've got some actual files that like cut material instead of just sitting there loading up the file and just taking way more time than I should. And so I've been kind of slowly acquiring tools to expedite the whole hand cutting process, but it still takes probably the most time out of everything.
But all that time, I've heard from others that are a lot higher up the food chain than we are, is that's the most intimate part of the pipe. I mean, that's the part you come into contact with. So all that effort that you're putting forward is actually seen by the feel in somebody's mouth. You know what I mean? It's something that's tangible.
Right.
Because when they put it in their mouth, it feels like it should, not like some wonky piece of something.
Yeah,
So
you want it to
well
clench
spent.
right. You know, like you said, it's the most intimate part. So your tongue's touching it, your lips are touching it, your teeth are touching it. So you want it to feel good. You want it to feel right and comfortable. So so taking that extra bit of time and trying to do it right, takes time.
Right. Well, so we don't take up a whole lot more of your time because Austin is actually on vacation right now. He's just managed to stop by to spend some time with me and get a visit and hang out and talk. I was curious, do you have some way for people to actually see your pipes or find them online, or a way for them to buy them, or if nothing else, maybe just a contact that they can reach out to you if they have some interest in seeing more of your work?
Sure. The best way to find me would be on Instagram. It'd be at Pathfinder _Pipes.
Okay.
And that you could message me on there. I do have an email. I believe it's Pathfinder pipes.us@gmail.com. But Instagram would be the best way to reach me.
Now, are you gonna post pictures of newly completed pipes on Instagram? So if they were to keep an eye out on your Instagram account, they see one pop up, they know to hurry up and message you. That way they don't miss the opportunity to get that particular pipe. Yeah,
so anything that I'm coming up that's in working order is definitely going to be posted. I'll have it on there. My plan is, now because I'm done with shows for the year, I'm thinking I'm probably going to maybe start, I have an Etsy account, I just haven't posted anything on there, but I think the plan is to maybe any pipes that come out between now and the next show next year, I'll probably put on there too. So anything should be available. Either you see something on Instagram, you can message me, or if not, hopefully I have Etsy soon. So it could be purchased on there.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Holy smokes, we're going
20
past
minutes.
the 15-minute mark. Anyhow, I don't know if the 20 is accurate, but I know we're past 15. But some good information for you guys. Glad to introduce you guys to Austin. If you haven't met him before now, he's hopefully going to be at the Chicago show next year. So if any of you guys are in Chicago and want to meet Austin in person and see his pipes in person, where you can actually pick them up and check them out, he does some mighty fine work.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for having me on your show.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah.
So with that being said, hopefully you guys have a blessed week, and pipe on.